Most people don't realize it, but the thing they're chasing, the job, the house, the applause, isn't what they're really looking for. What they want is simpler, a life that actually fits, a direction that feels real, a reason to get up in the morning that doesn't need selling to yourself. That's what I mean by purpose, not a slogan, not a strategy, just that quiet pull from inside, the real you, trying to be heard. And the strange thing is, when it first shows up, it doesn't always feel like hope. Sometimes it feels like a threat. Think of a moment in your life when something inside you knew, and you buried it anyway. It might have been small, a quiet knowing you couldn't explain, a moment that you dismissed because it didn't fit the life you were building. Hold that memory. Don't judge it. Don't fix it. Just notice what rises in you when you go back there. Most people rush from feeling to doing. They try to turn that spark into a plan. But purpose doesn't grow in noise. It grows in stillness. If you can sit with that feeling without turning it into a task, it starts to breathe. It starts to shape you before you try to shape it. That's how it began for me. Not with a plan, with a whisper I tried to ignore. Most people think purpose arrives like a trumpet blast, a grand calling, a crystal clear direction, but it doesn't. It slips in quietly, like a whisper you almost ignore. And here's the part no one tells you. When it first shows up, it often doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like that moment comes when everything in your life says, play it safe. And something deep inside says, no. This episode is about that moment, the first spark, and why so many of us pull back right when it matters the most. As a child, I was praised for performance, not for who I was, but for how well I could play the part. Teachers, parents, grown-ups, they all loved the performance, and I learned that being seen meant putting on a show. My true self was never centre stage. E was in the wing, always watching, never acknowledged. So when purpose showed up later in my life, it didn't speak to the performer. It spoke to the one hiding in the wing. And that truly terrified me. Purpose asks something dangerous of you. It doesn't ask you to act. It asks you to be seen as you really are. And for someone who'd spent a lifetime performing, that felt like standing on a corner stage, well, without a script. I told myself it was safe to stay where I was, but what I was really protecting was the mask. Looking back now, I can see it ever so clearly. Every time that spark appeared, I found a reason to shrink away from it, a reason to delay, a reason to tell myself it wasn't the right time. But the truth is, it wasn't fear of failure that held me back. It was fear of being seen without all the armor. No mask, no part to play, just me. Purpose never shouts, it waits. And if you ignore it long enough, it starts whispering in the quiet places that you can't avoid. If you've ever felt that spark, that whisper that doesn't go away, you already know what I'm talking about. The question isn't whether it's real. The question is, when it comes again, will you run or will you sit with it long enough to let it grow?